Alright, welcome to the 13th episode of SmashCenter. We have a lot in store for you today. As always, it's Suar from PG Stats, and I'm just happy to be here once again bringing you the latest in Smash Ultimate news, controversy, and tournament coverage. As always, we're going to have Coney join us later in the show, where we're going to break down some of what happened this weekend and also just take a look at just the craziness that's going on in the scene in terms of tournament results, because this past weekend was a double A tier weekend along with a C tier that happened here in Tri-State. So we're going to go ahead and cover that. And again, if this is your first time seeing us on Twitch, hello, you're seeing this live, the real deal. But if this is your first time seeing it on YouTube, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button so you can get the latest updates and you can keep us afloat and going, because this is stuff we want to do, but not forever, but also for the time being. But anyways, let's just go ahead and get started with the show. A lot to cover today. We want to go ahead and start with a tournament that happened right nearby, and that's going to be the Scarlet Classic 5. So once again, this is SmashCenter. We're going to bring you what happened in the weekend of April 12th to April 14th. So starting right off, we had the C tier of the Scarlet Classic 5. This event was held in Tri-State and featured many talents. It was won by Gen, second to Jackal. Greg Gonzalez got third, and for a Jersey tournament, it was one that definitely flew a little bit under the radar, considering the weekend was packed both with Luma Bora SP3 in the East and 2GG's Prime Saga in the West. This event boasted, pretty great talent. You had Ralphie also show up, Suarez make a showing, and MDVA's ZD also placed 9th. So of course, a little bit lower than one would expect, but along with 6WS and some other players from the area in the Northeast region, they all made a pretty strong showing. And considering it's a C tier, this is one that they could afford to sort of gather that data and come back stronger the next time. So from that, Scarlet Classic 5, congratulations to everyone who competed. It was definitely an event that you want to attend if you're in the area, especially the Tri-State area, since Jersey has plenty of events that we all want to see all throughout the year. But we're going to go ahead and continue off to the next event, which is going to be, Luma Bora SP3. This event was insane. This event had so many storylines crisscrossing in and around the entire Twitter sphere and the entire Smash sphere. Luma Bora SP3 had 509 entrants, which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, that breaks or sets certain records for Ultimate. This is one of the first A tiers that Japan has had in a long time, and with the PGR international bonus, it's a lot more accessible for international scenes not in the continental US, to hit that threshold so that they can be scored and get that A tier status. So the first seed, Cosmos, was the only American to scratch the top. He placed 7th. He was eliminated by the best Sonic in the world, PGR Top 100 ranked 9th, Ken, 2-1. And, to the surprise of some people, because seeing Sonic now in the new game, seeing how he transitions, Ken definitely shows us that he's got it. Ken was actually the 29th seed, and he finished 3rd place. So again, breaking all expectations. 8th seed, DNG's, Detonate Gaming. Neotonos won Grand Finals over the 12th seed, Kamame, 2-0. And might we add, Neotono took the entire tournament without dropping a single game. Obviously, he didn't drop a single set, but also he didn't drop a single game. So that 100% game and set win rate was insane, to say the least. Abadongo, SNM's own 28th seed and PGR Top 100 ranked 13th player, is finding his footing with Meta Knight and Inkling as he placed 5th at this A tier event. This event showed us much of what Japan still has to offer in terms of talent, with the likes of Kamame and Leia and Choco all placing top 8th. Again, Cosmos being the only American and only placing 7th at that shows us just how tough the Japan region could be. So, Luma Bora SP3 closes with that conclusion. Neotono taking that tournament and pretty much cementing himself as the current player to watch in Japan, but also in when they travel over to the West. Definitely an eye to be had on him as he continues to push the meta with his own brand of Pichu well into the season. But we have another tournament we want to talk about, and this was happening out in the West, and that's going to be another Grand Slam of events occurring. This is the 2GG Prime Saga. Now, the 2GG Prime Saga was something a lot of people were looking forward to, only because this was the first time that we had 2GG place all of their chips, you know, on the table for us. You know, we had, as you see there, really incredible showings and just so much to offer from both the people in SoCal, the people in NorCal, and everyone that attended abroad. This event showed us so much of talent from, you know, Japan, and we saw that in that grand finals with Shutone and Zachary. So the event itself, gosh, it was just so insane because the 11th seed, Shutone, he wins his first major tournament over the 9th seed, Zachary, and he did it, considering the fact that Zachary is Japan's current best player. Not only that, a lot of history was made. Solo Olimar won his first tournament, a character that receives a lot of negativity for generally campy / slower paced gameplay and huge damage, something that people are still trying to figure out. Though many are dramatic, Shutone plays this character quite flashy and has one of the nastiest punish games. Props and congrats to him. And even though we didn't get the Richter like we did at Frostbite, many players are still a fan of Shutone considering just how nasty he is with Olimar. This is actually the first time at a 2GG tournament where the main tournament's champion had also won the pre-tournament before. And it's also the first time we've had a Japan-only grand finals. That trifecta of events is something that'll probably go down in the history books for the rest of not only this year, but Ultimate's history books, you know, for the time being. I mean, having those three things happen, although the curse was not broken, considering it had to be either won by Zero Suit, Dark Samus, or Ridley, it's so crazy to have a Japan-only grand finals, especially in a saga. Kind of throwback to the Brawl era, Japan's definitely a threat. Interesting instance where these two play often in Japan, and Zachary usually wins, but Shutone was able to come out of losers and beat Zachary on American turf, which is a huge deal. Many people definitely play differently in different regions. Of course, here in the Americas, where the most, you know, hottest tournaments are played, if you choke here, it's kind of tough to recover from that. But the two players in current contention for best in the world, TSM Tweak and Echo Fox MVG MKLeo, tied for 7th place actually, which is going to be the probably main focus of tonight's conversation, but impressive nonetheless, but low in their own standards. Lots of different upsets took place this weekend, but the most talked about seems to be YB over Void. YB being a Samus Prime Saga carrying torchbearer. He made it as far as he could with Dark Samus, but he forced Void to finish at 17th place, which, you know, for someone like Void, someone coming off such high expectations and such a high streak of results from everything that he did at Genesis and, you know, just this season in general. Void's a sick player, but YB had something else to say about that this weekend. But lastly, we want to go ahead and touch on what we're going to feature this weekend, which is Pound 2019. Pound 2019 is set to happen this exact weekend in Laurel, Massachusetts. This is going to be, oh no, Laurel, Maryland, not Massachusetts, MD. It's going to feature the best of MDVA, the best of Florida, Tri-State, Midwest. This tournament is boasting so many players, and it's also an A tier, which follows last weekend's double feature of A tier. So notably, Tweak will not be present, so first is up for grabs as always, but even more so now since this is one of the big W's you want to get in this PGRU season. So that about wraps it up for this past weekend's recap. Sorry, it's a little bumpy there. We're trying to still settle things in, but for the most part, if it's your first time viewing SmashCenter, we're going to go ahead and take from the recap portion, now heading into the duocast version. So if it's your first time tuning in, this is a part of the show where we're going to go ahead and bring Coney in. Coney, we're going to bring you up now that we have you unmuted and at the appropriate volume. Coney, how you doing, man? How's everything going?
Hi, everybody. How's it going? Sorry about the lighting. I have some of those fancy panel light things for my stream lighting.
Your lighting's
and
fine.
they kind of wonked out, and I'm trying to get them fixed, but right now I got nothing. So I just got the beautiful sunlight, natural light coming in, and my room's kind of a mess behind me because I'm reorganizing some stuff, and I don't have the green screen to protect me. So anyway, hi. Happy to be on the show once more. It was a fun weekend of Smash. Watched most of Prime Saga. I didn't catch the entire top 8, but caught a lot of it. And then, I don't know, just a lot of stuff this weekend.
It was a lot, definitely. Personally, Risk of Rain 2 has been my friend. Have you gotten a chance to play that yet?
I want to, but I'm one of those people that I don't like playing games before I don't like playing early access games. Reason being, I have so many games that I want to play that I'm never going to come back to it. So if I can't beat Risk of Rain now, like, I'm going to play it, and then down the line they're going to add like an actual, story mode, or like a thing that I could finish.
Well, Risk of Rain ain't that type of game. I'll tell you that now. It's a roguelike.
Well, no, because I played the first one.
Yeah.
And like once you you can beat a roguelike, like once you've seen the end of the,
Sure.
it can loop. But that's generally what I do, is like, and I do that with every game. I did that with Dead Cells, and I beat as far as you could in the early access. And then it was like, okay, come back later. I'm like, I'm not coming back later. So
yeah, Dead Cells is beauty. I've been playing it on the Switch. Definitely love it. Recommend it if you're on the plane. Dead Cells is the game, honestly.
Well, that's what I'm worried about with Risk of Rain 2. So I'll pick it up at some point. I'm probably just gonna wait for them to finish it, but I don't know. I hear it's good, but I know that Smash is good, and there was a lot of good Smash this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, apart from keeping company with other games, this past weekend, I gotta say, no names are safe still. A lot of it is still not up in the air, but not guaranteed. I think that seeing Tweak and MKLeo both tie for 7th was a little bit of wrench in the whole algorithm. It's gonna make things not so crazy, but those boosts that Shootone and Zachary are gonna get are just gonna be insane. So congrats to them. I think that they'll enjoy those nice PGR points. But yeah, let's talk about Prime Saga, since that's what we're on now. But gosh, like, did you catch the upset thread? Did you catch the Skittles? Because there were red and blue bouncing all over Twitter. It was insane, actually.
Somebody said that if you do an analysis, and I didn't check the thread, I just read the headline. But somebody said that if you do an analysis of all the people like that made an upset relative to their seeding, Prime Saga had as many upsets as Civil War. And
really?
Civil War is sort of the benchmark for that kind of tournament, where it's just chaos, people taking people out left and right. I thought it made it really exciting to watch. Obviously you can't predict when that's going to happen, but there's some kind of magic in the air, and I really do like that it kind of it keeps everybody on their toes, keeps everybody on notice, because we saw that Void kind of underperformed. A bunch of players just playing way lower than you would expect their seeding. I mean, Tweak, of course, MKLeo, just so many people. Shoot-on 6-0'd Leo in the pre-tournament before Prime Saga.
And I don't give pre-tournaments that much stock, I'll be real. I always think it's like the day that people are going to try stuff, that people are going to sort of like see like where they're at. I don't like to give it much weight, but I mean, he did that.
You can't argue with the results.
Yeah, but taking a look at these upsets, actually, pulling up here. Day 2 upsets are always juicier than day 1. Day 1 is kind of the whoops. I wasn't fully holding my controller. I got upset by a regional hero. Day 2, definitely career enders. Definitely the parts of the player card that are going to really show, especially since this was an A tier. So that's going to be like right front and center. But Van taking it over Esam, ending at 33rd. Megafox over Leffen. Megafox from Texas, actually, I had not seen that name in a long time. He hadn't competed outside of Texas like for a while.
Yeah, he was one of those dudes that Texas is full of those kids. Just played a lot in Texas, didn't really leave, but really tried to make a mark at this tournament, and at least got one upset. That was good.
Yeah, that's an upset to get. I think it was a little anticlimactic for Leffen, because Leffen, any tournament doesn't get to feature him in the later stages of the event, kind of loses out on that Leffen hype. Not to objectify him, but seeing his play at the higher level against the high level players, I mean, his set against MKLeo at Genesis was nutty. Like, that was a nutty set. And Megafox took that away from us, so boo to that. Jokes, of course. But Schroeder over Esam, that was the original upset. Schroeder has always caused those upsets that kind of lead into what would have been like the second timeline for the tournament, because Esam was actually supposed to go against Samsora, and he didn't even get to him, which is a little awkward.
Yeah.
It's tough. I mean, it's tough out there for a Pikachu, but Schroeder did it. Schroeder from Arizona, as I've been now corrected many times. I always kept thinking it was NorCal or SoCal. But no, he shows up to SoCal all the time. Schroeder from Arizona.
Yeah.
Took it. Brandon, first name Brandon, last name upset, I guess. Trella at 65th. No high hopes for Trella, I'll be real. I don't know if you had your eye on him. Ridley coming off from Rio and Smash 4, and that transition's kind of rough probably. 65th wasn't too surprising. Key over Elegant, 65th. That is, there's a lot to say about that.
Who was that?
Key, no idea actually.
Key, okay. I thought you said T.
No,
I thought
KI.
you said T, and I was like, that's not an upset. I was like, what? Okay.
No disrespect to KI or Key. I just literally do not know who they are.
Right.
And they beat Elegant. I think if I click, someone will be like, "Oh no, never mind. It's because the rest of the upset thread is there." But Elegant is a player that, at the height of the 2GGC championship, was popping off after every set because he was causing the gnarliest of upsets. So for him to sort of, and we're getting confirmation that Key is a SoCal snake. So, oh boy, snake's a doozy.
Oh, that'll do it. Yeah,
I think with Luigi, he really wants to make it work, and Luigi's key sort of offensive gimp nature that was toned down this time is hard. I don't think it's working.
Well, it depends. It's very matchup based, and the problem is that if Luigi can really thrive in an environment where he gets boxed out for 6 minutes and then he gets a toilet bowl off stage, like, you can do that. In this game, you can't do that, especially not against a character like Snake, who will, for every interaction where you maybe get, I don't know, 20, 30, he's going to get 40, 50, and he's going to kill you earlier, and he's going to die later. So there are just some nightmare matchups, and Snake is one of them.
And I know that Elegant definitely, I've seen some of his spills on Twitter before. No shame. If you're a player, you put it all on the table. So he's definitely on Twitter in the early parts of Smash Ultimate vented, and it's tough because he ended at such a critical height in Smash 4, and then now, 65th at an A tier, that pretty much gate kept him from being top 15, let alone top 20. I mean, I don't even think he was in the running for something like that, being honest. But you can't, that's dead weight. People would always ask, like, for PGR purposes, like, some of the losses people would take, these are one of the ones that kind of keep you from really ascending.
Sure.
Striker over Slayers. Slayers, longtime Peach main from the West Coast. I want to say he lives in NorCal now, but he's like very much, he's a Brawl player, right? Didn't you know him?
Slayers?
Yeah.
No, we've never talked or interacted, just because in terms of like cross-pollination, there wasn't much of it in Brawl, honestly. There's like one major that everybody went to, like,
no Twitter,
twice a year. Yeah, there's no Twitter. There's like Smashboards, but like if I didn't never see him on Smashboards. He probably stayed in his section. But yeah, we never really interacted, but it's definitely a name that we've known, and like, Slayer's been around forever. Very good player.
Yeah, so nice to see him at least get seated. There's a killer right here, Myron over Mars. I'm going to just gloss through the rest. So Mars, that definitely hurts. Eon losing to 33rd. Wadi at 25th. Wadi not able to get it really started in my recent memory. I think
he's struggling.
He's struggling with Rob. Well, Rob is like, I don't think Rob is any worse or any better than the last iteration once you start factoring in matchups. But there ain't no Mewtwo like there used to be. That's for sure. I don't know if you've seen him in region. I mean, I think he got one. Did he get first in the last PR for NDVA?
Yeah, he's number one in our region. Yeah, he's number one. ZD is number 2. It's always between those two, and Seagull's always number 3. But yeah, so he's sort of struggling. He had a big breakout performance at Glitch. Everybody was really excited, but he hasn't really been able to replicate that. Same with ZD. Hopefully he'll be able to find it, but obviously Rob is sort of difficult. Yeah.
Maybe he'll get that pound power up. I know that when it comes to MVDA, playing in MDVA sort of helps, but
could be, yeah.
Yeah, Void at 17th. Oof, really hurts, but good for YB. I keep wanting to say QB, but I haven't seen that name in such a long time. I think QB was part of the force that gave up their Smash competitive careers to sort of test for Ultimate. I think it was
I think he was on that team.
Renai, QB, and there's a third I'm forgetting. Amsa also did.
Yes. Yeah.
Believe it or not. Mr. E over Myron, highly unexpected. I did not expect to see Mr. E so high. Still below his expectations, but I know he's been struggling. I know he's been the Marth main extraordinaire, now the Lucina main extraordinaire, which must be not that awkward of a change. He played plenty of Lucina in Smash 4, but I know he hasn't been getting results that he's used to. That's for sure. And then Shuton over Light, I mean, there goes the whole tournament. So yeah, I think that it was an event that had plenty of upsets. I think with Civil War, geez, I don't think anything tops Latai over Zero. I think the closest thing we'll get there in this iteration was maybe a YB over Void. Ven over Esam I wouldn't consider like that exciting.
No, it's not the same because we don't have history yet. It's still early on. Everybody's finding their footing. It's not going to be the same. But
don't force it.
Yeah, it's a cool thing to see because it means that it's really interesting. There's another thread that I saw said that of all the things and tournaments and majors that happened this weekend, each one was won by a different character. And it shows us that there is sort of a pecking order. There's definitely a hierarchy of characters, but there's not the field looks like 8 to 10 instead of 4 or 5, which is really healthy, I think, especially this early on.
Yeah, and if we even just look at the top 8 for Prime Saga, featured Shuton, Zachary, Light, so that's Olimar. Zachary playing Pokemon Trainer, which was really insane to see.
Pokemon Trainer pisses me off, by the way. Sorry, I know this is a side thing. I'm starting... Anyway, sorry, I don't want to cut you off. Pokemon Trainer is frustrating me because everybody says this character is so cool and unique and so many matchups. You have to learn so many things with this character. You do the same thing every match. What you...
Coney broke the stream. But yeah, I think that when it comes to...
because everybody thinks that they're really smart, but you're not really smart. You're just playing Pokemon Trainer. Okay. You
hyperdrived? You were like, they're so smart, and then you froze. No,
every
it's fine.
Pokemon trainer thinks they're Mensa. Every single Pokemon trainer thinks they're so smart because they use 3 different characters. Oh my god, so many matchups. No, you do the same thing every single game unless you're fighting a Zero Suit or unless you're fighting a Snake or an Ike. But other than that, you're doing the same thing every single game using the same 3 characters. I'm sick of that. Anyway, I hate Pokemon Trainer. Get him out of my game.
It sounds like you're a hater.
I just don't like that face when I lose to her. Just everyone did great, and then she just...
So I don't think it's like a janitor with a ring of keys trying to pick all these different locks. I think it's kind of rock, paper, scissors, shoe, you know? Like, I don't think it's I don't think it's that wild, especially in this game. I think a Pokemon Trainer Melee. Now, I tell you what, that would have been insane to see. Like, that would have been levels
that would have shaken things up.
That would have been a lot. That would have been, yes, matchup. That is optimization.com that you would have had to learn. But
yeah.
Ganondorf from Nairo making a fun showing. Ooh. Nairo's still kind of fighting for that notoriety, but 4th here is definitely going to help out, considering he got 6th seed, which some would say would be a little high, but then some would say would be a little low. Definitely what he's been doing in the East Coast is not carrying him, but like carrying his seed right now. Ally, happy to see him in the top 8th. I think with Snake, MVD's kind of been soaking up that limelight, but I mean, Ally kind of did it. You know, he really showed up, and he's showing up with Snake. No Mario at all.
Yeah, I saw him use Mario last night at the MSM. He tried to use it against YB. Was not successful, but I guess he figured that he could do better against Samus with it. But yeah, no Mario, just straight Snake.
Yeah, then this guy. What do we? I don't even know what to say about this. Pac-Man. I don't
He's
like it.
Bad.
I don't like it. I'll be real, I don't like it. I wish there were the previous games top tiers to sort of box them out a little more, like a little bit of Cloud, a little bit of Sheik. But alas, T made it to 5th. Congratulations, probably off of that alone, making his claim to at least the bottom part of the top 50. This 5th at an A tier like this is phenomenal. Yeah. Sinji probably being overtaken for sure, since he hasn't placed like this. And then Tweak with a Wolf and Young Link, which I liked. And then Leia with a Wolf, Lucina, and Marth. A Marth that I know he didn't really get to show as much. But yeah, double Wolf. So 3 Wolves, right? And then a whole lot of other diversity. And if we turn later, as we talk about Luma Bora SP3, like, same deal. So
yeah.
That top 8 feels good. I think it is insane that pretty much every other box is featuring a furry animal, or like some green-haired lady, or a kid, or a Pac-Man. Like, it is pretty diverse. And then this guy in a tactical, like, marine, tactical suit. I know Marines don't wear that, but SOCOM or whatever. That's a big deal. I think that's a big deal. We can talk about Luma Bora now, unless you have any final points about Prime Saga.
No, it was fun to watch. Excited to see more sagas in the future. They've got a lot of things they can pick from. So
yeah. So turning right into, and it's funny you say like pick from, because I already saw the 2GG post where it's like, what's the next saga gonna be? And then a bunch of comments pouring in. I like that branding. I like the marketing engine is the brand itself. Like, what's the saga gonna be? Who's gonna win? I don't think anyone was surprised that the curse wasn't broken, but I think that's the first tally, right? I think that the curse if someone can tell me the score, for whoever actually kept up on that, I think the score was like 0-21 or 0-22 by the very end.
Damn.
But yeah, the only thing I will say, not as a shot or anything, but as diplomatically as possible, production. That's maybe the name of the game for 2GG. I think that the grand finals was won by Change the Battery Pack, actually. Did you see that?
No, I didn't catch that.
Oh my god. So, long story short, yeah, you have the game-winning hit, game-ending, tournament-ending, everything, go on to basically the stream turning off.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And not turning off, but it was like, I think the camera that they had looking at the players when they were standing up just ran out of juice. So as you see here,
God.
Zachary died, and then you changed the battery pack, and then no signal.
I love 2GG, but like so this has been a consistent thing now, where like
it has been, and it's not hating, but it's like what it was last year. Obviously, with the collaboration with ESA, yeah, you can continue your point on that, but it's like something to look at,
The issue is that if it happens once, it's like, okay, the venue's not great, because venue internet sucks. If it happens at 2 different venues, something suspect. If it happens at 3 different venues, okay, now you're the problem. So I think 2GG is maybe going through some growing pains, because they are sort of a scrappy little team of people, and I don't think we should be holding them to like
passionate people.
Yeah, doing it for the love of the game, and I don't want to take anything away from that, but it's pretty jarring considering what we saw in the past, like we were talking about before, in terms of their partnerships. It's just a different world.
Yeah, and I think that partnership kind of underscored how important it was to have like production not be outsourced, but levied essentially by an org that had that as their forte. I think 2GG outside of production is phenomenal, and it's not like a 2GG hate hour, but it's like every grassroots team in Smash, from 2GG to Unrivaled Tournaments to VGBC and the rest, all have something to improve on, because it is grassroots. So like, whereas some company, it's like, all right, here's $1 million budget because of venture capitalist funding. Let's flood Utah with an arena we're gonna fill 160 people with. Like, doesn't work out. But without further ado, Luma Bora SP3. Also, we're gonna flash this before we go into the pound preview. But yeah, the diversity you get once again, Neotona, you see there with a 10-0 set win and a 20-0 game win ratio. Pichu, which, if you don't remember Neotona in Smash 4, Diddy Kong and Sheik, I think Pichu's the move, or Wolf is the move for many of these not pre-patch, but pre-ultimate players.
Yeah.
Kamame, pretty much the same bunch. You know, he had Yoshi in the last game. He did have a Sheik. I don't think I've seen a Sheik from him. And then Ken. I think Ken at third is a statement, because I hadn't really seen a Sonic perform up to these standards in a long time.
Yeah, Sonic's very different in this game. Very annoying, just as annoying, just because, like, now instead of the spin dash being the spin dash, now it's spin dash plus homing attack, which is the most aggravating thing on the planet. But yeah, I think a lot of people think that Sonic is at least pretty good. I think that's a pretty common understanding, but just not as dominant as he was, so people aren't going to stick with him. But Ken, obviously a super fan. Good to see him succeed, and maybe people will hate on the playstyle less and on the character less if he's not as common.
Yeah, Ken's been wild. I liked his brand of Sonic, especially in Smash 4, for sure. I was always a fan of Ken. But yeah. 29th seed, somewhat disrespectful, but like they're not playing around with Legacy. They're like, what? Who is good today? Ken, not given that leeway at all. Proto Banham, 47th seed with 4th. Inkling and Lucina. His Twitter handle is SSBU_Lucina, so that's like the Lucina, apparently, in Japan. Leia, 4th seed, hitting 5th. Very, very commendable. I think that's amazing, because I think it was at Frostbite. Some was here, or was it Leia? There's a key Greninja that was here for Frostbite, right? That really popped off. But then it was like... Leia. But the final boss isn't here, and it was Some.
Yes, right.
Yeah, so Leia did well at Frostbite. Leia doing well here. Leia very well, maybe the highest ranked Greninja player right now. I mean,
I'd say so, yeah.
Stroder has some competition there, but Stroder didn't get that Frostbite win. I'm happy to see Abadongo in 5th. 28th seed, down there with Ken, bro. Like, that's a sort of, you know, like, they didn't graduate into Ultimate gracefully, but I know Abadongo, just like at the beginning of Smash 4, juggling a lot of characters, this time Meta Knight and Inkling, compared to Pac-Man, Wario, Meta Knight, and eventually Mewtwo, and then eventually Bayonetta from before. So happy to see him. And Choco and Cosmos. So pretty solid. Choco, 7th seed, 7th place. What more can you do? But yeah, any other things you want to point out? I think seeing Umeki and Hikaru up there is great. Raito at 9th is also great. Jill, I haven't heard of before, but I love that tag. I would love to know the origins. Macat got, or Nakat, not Macat, but Mazer Nakat got 13th, which is good.
It's good to see some of the old names pop up and to know that they're still playing the game, sort of check in on them. Like we were talking about before, everybody's still sort of finding their footing. We're about, 3 or 4 months in, and some people don't have as easy a transition. So being able to see some of those names still pop up is nice. See that they're still playing the game at least.
Yeah, I wonder though, like, Cosmos at 1st seed speaks more, I think, to the valuing of like his play than like their own players. I don't know how much deserving he was of 1st seed. Just like that. I mean, I don't really know like what else the seeding was like. I mean, 8th seed, 12th, 29th, 47th, 4th, 28th, and 7th seed are here. So there's some like not gross oversight or lack of oversight, because you can't predict these things, but it's just it's just interesting. So yeah, I think Luma Bora SP3 and Prime ending the way they did. These top 8s are beautiful. Like, again, there isn't even, aside from Inkling, shown 3 times. It's like the wolf of the other graphic. You got Yoshi, Sonic, Greninja. So overall healthy. Honestly, we weren't getting these sort of spreads until 3 patches in Smash 4, at least 4. Pre-Bayonetta, or anytime Bayonetta wasn't prominent at a tournament, and when everybody else was a little bit higher in terms of results, and people started to catch up, like we started to get more of like the other tiers of characters that we weren't seeing before. Things like even like Game & Watch and stuff. And then like Luigi really popping off. But yeah, like we haven't even gotten much news on like when Joker's coming, which should be like anytime around now, right? Like end of April.
Should be soon, hopefully. I don't know. We'll see.
The pound reveal.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Don't hold your breath, but maybe.
That'd be insane. Yeah. Any other points on Luma Bora SP3 before we kick it off to the pound preview?
Nope. Let's kick it to pound.
All right, so pound preview. I'm already seeing in the chat gripes with the seating. Coney, since you seated the event, do you have anything to say?
Screw you guys. I don't care.
He did not seed the event.
No, I seeded all of it. And I don't even care. Myron rules. He's the best Olimar. He said so. So shut up. He's third.
Wait, I don't even know what the seeding is because someone linked me. Do you have it?
Myron's third seed.
Myron's third seed?
Mm-hmm.
Who's man's?
So Myron's third seed. I don't remember who else is. I actually don't know what else is in there, but I don't think the seeds have been fully updated though, just yet. Oh wow, there we go in the chat. Okay, seeds are updated. Perfect. Yeah.
Where are we? Oh, seeds are an update. VG Bootcamp. Shout out to the stream having
horse's mouth, baby.
Having 3 streams ready for pound. VG Bootcamp 1, VG Bootcamp 2, and VG Bootcamp 4. No, I'm kidding. 3. Yeah, this sort of seeding debacle that happens at every event that is not of certain orgs. I think that some orgs get it more than others. I don't think seeding for Prime Saga even really felt any sort of argument. Did you even hear anything about it? Like,
no, I mean, everything at least has 1 or 2 people kind of making a stink. I mean, I feel like Prime Saga might have had Zan, and Zan's sort of like
Zan's a hero.
Everybody, yeah, he's like the guy right now for that.
He's the dude.
I mean, it's just really hard to juggle all the things that go into seeding. I think that it's a work in progress, and they're going to be working at it. But in the end, I don't know. I hesitate to put too much thought into the whole seeding stuff, just because somebody's going to win anyway.
Put all the thought into it. No, but aside from Genesis, which was a tizzy of a seeding debacle, Pound 2019, which showing here Pound 2016, blast from the past, is going to have a lot going on. And I think Myron at 3rd seed, or just Myron in the mix, is going to be deadly. Pulling up the list of attendees right here, actually. Are you particularly excited for anybody? Is your region excited? How does your region feel? I mean, it's always that sort of pride having your own major kind of in your own backyard. Like, how does that play out for your region?
Sort of. I mean, like, it's interesting because the culture of Smash has gone in such a way that commentators are less involved with their local scenes as they used to be.
True.
So, like, I'm excited to see my boys compete, but in terms of, like, people I know and I hang out with and I talk to in MDVA, that number's pretty low. I do like seeing them win, obviously, but it's not, my ear isn't to the ground in terms of, like, you know, how people are feeling. That's T-Door, you know what I mean? That's their thing.
Jesus Christ.
I'm sure they're ready to go. Sort of, I don't know, there's still that doubt in terms of how MDVA will perform on the big stage. Obviously, we had a good showing at Glitch, but we haven't shown up past that, so I don't know. There's going to be an MDV versus VA crew battle, which is a nice little thing, I think, for us. Kind of an exhibition.
I think that'll be nice.
Yeah, that'll be cool, because there's always, like, a little bit of back and forth, so it's going to be fun. I'm excited to see if anybody from our region makes a big sort of breakout upset. Off the top of my head, I don't know, it's tough, because a lot of the people that perform, MDVA is one of those regions that everybody that performs well in region just gets blasted out of region. Like, everybody here is a Sabric, and they're very good here, and then they can't make it work outside.
Yeah.
It's really strange.
Yeah, it is tough. You have a lot to defend, you also have a lot to prove, and for many people, it's also like, sometimes their first time on the big stage, considering the game just came out. Like maybe they haven't had that moment to go to Prime Saga. Maybe they haven't had that moment to like travel to Frostbite. Someone I'm thinking about personally, just because he's an old friend, is Remzi. Like that class of person, someone who's like a hard worker, does well in region. Although Remzi, like, is he competing right now? Like Smash 4
sort of. I know he had a kid on the way. So
he does. So that changes the whole game. But I know that in Smash 4 at least he was the gatekeeper for 33rd. At majors he was pretty much placing in and around there. But again, like someone like him, I'd imagine, not being able to travel so much, like Pound could be that chance, right?
Well, Remzi's also, I love the guy, but he's a choke artist.
Well, then that plays out too. Yeah.
I mean, he's a super good player when he wants to be, I guess, and that sounds so dismissive, but he's super talented, but he does find ways to lose in
on his own.
Truly incredible. Yeah, it's like the Prestige. It's incredible. I don't know how he pulls the rabbit out of his hat over and over and over. But
lay off Frenzy. I just mean more so like his band of player within
I agree. Yeah.
Pound is that
studied, I think for him it's a good opportunity, especially because I think he either had a good run at Glitch or he had a really close set with somebody really good. I think he did well at Glitch, if I'm not mistaken. I could be totally wrong about that. Super good player, but I hear you. He's sort of that type of player that this could really be the breakout for. The player on my mind was Patharan, but he's an MDVA Snake player. Ooh. But I feel like with Snake, it's less to do with the player and more to do with the matchup. So I feel like in terms of how to fight Snake, it's pretty by the book. So I don't know how much he's going to be able to make a breakout, just because I don't think Snake allows for the same level of sort of, I don't want to say expression, but like a Pichu, like Minix, who had a big win at Frostbite against, can't remember. He beat somebody really good. Was it Minix or Ronin? They're the same person, I think. I don't know. But yeah, he had a huge win at Frostbite, and I feel like Pichu is much more sort of in tune with that than somebody like Snake.
Yeah, Snake definitely make or break depending on the matchup knowledge, and a lot of people are proving to not know it very shamelessly.
Right. Yeah.
I'm definitely in that camp, but in terms of
Minix beat Sue,
attendees,
that was it. Okay.
I remember that. In terms of attendees, though, all these players are entering Ultimate Singles. Hungerbox, Leffen, Plup, Mewtwo King, Mango. Probably 3 of those will be canceling day of. I think Mango didn't even attend his Prime Saga pool because it was at noon. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wizrobe only entering Ultimate, not Melee, from what shows up here. Leo, DeBuzz, Nairo, Salem, Mr. R, Captain Zach, Void, Larry Lurr. Fatality, Samsora, Anti will be entering. That'll be nice to see. I wonder what Anti's been up to, honestly. I know he's been winning tournaments here and there, like a Colombian tournament that was out of nowhere. Definitely C-tier Hunter. Esam, the Moon or La Luna. Does he go by La Luna officially now? Like, is that
I think so.
Okay. Yeah. Zenodo sneaking in there. Zenodo, lowest key player of all time. Mars Ally. Jeez, this is like most of the top 50 now. MVD, Rags will be there, Ned will be there, 6WX, Sinji, Seagull Joe defending, and then it trails off. Pink Fresh, Apostle entering.
A lot of good players.
Yeah, so I think it might be in the bag for MK Leo. Not gonna lie. I think Samsora might potentially, with the right bracket, also have it in the bag. Everybody else, they're going to be fighting for 8th. Top 8, rather. I think DeBuzz will be able to make it in. But everybody else, it might be hard. I'm happy for Mr. R doing well at Prime Saga. Well-ish. But this will be the tournament he'll have to do super well if he wants to break into at least top 10, top 15, in my opinion. Yeah.
I don't want to make any sort of predictions. I think Leo's obviously the most consistent. But I think it's still anything can happen, and that's what's so exciting. So we'll see what happens this weekend.
Yeah. So Pound 2019, we were showing clips of Pound 2016 where Abenango, of course, took it and caused everybody on 4Glory, yes, 4Glory, not Elite Smash, not VIP Smash, to play Mewtwo for a good week or two. I know I definitely picked up Mewtwo after him, and of course Wadi started sweeping right after the end of Smash 4's lifespan of Mewtwo. So yeah, I think Pound 2019 will be the one for the books. It'll also be something that people can see now, like as okay, there's more refined parrying, there's more punish off stage. Just by the way, shout outs to TK Breezy for having the side B parry of a lifetime against a Mega Man. Did you see that on stream?
It's one parry. Okay,
let's bring each other up. All right,
he didn't do this. He didn't do that. That's not what he did. He did this.
Yeah, but he also did it in like a very tight spot at the end of his match. So I'm on the record. Smooth. I'm on the record complimenting TK. You're on the record attacking him. There you go.
He's not good, and that's why Esam's gonna slap up Samsora in the exhibition match. That I forget how much they're doing it for. I think it's $500, but it's a lot of money. And TK and I are commentating that on both sides. We're gonna be biased as hell. Anyway, TK's losing that.
You really think that Esam's got that?
Yes, easy. Yeah.
Oh, okay, we're doing that. Okay.
Yeah, it's done. Yeah.
Anyways.
You're on his team, by the way.
I?
Oh, toxic ass. You better be.
Wait, you're on his team now, aren't you?
What channel are you on?
You're on his team.
I'm wearing the jersey, bro. Come on.
Oh, we're all on the team. That's weird. This is some, like, what's it called? This is like some one
I'm the dude
type.
from the Hunger Games right now. Like, we are the capital, and Samsora is from District 9. So, slapping him down, and he sucks.
So, Q&A. We got some 2 quick ones before we close out. We got exactly 8 minutes. We're going to try it. Q&A, of course, if you DM me, you'll get your question featured and potentially answered or made a mockery of. 2 we have lined up today are talking about the international bonus for the PGR, and then Wolf being in the same sentence as Bayo. But the first question dealing with the PGR and international events comes to us from Custom Van 420, April 20th, of course, a very beautiful day. It's going to be a Saturday this time during Pound, so this person made their handle in advance, I guess. How will the Ultimate PGR account, I hate myself so much. How will the Ultimate PGR account for people that don't live in America? Also, what do you think is the biggest upset from 2GG Prime Saga? Answering that backwards, YB over Void, definitely. And then secondly, we feature it already in the TTS when we rate everybody just like we do, or just like we did for the PGR and Smash 4. As you can see here, the TTS takes into account people who entered, and there's a slight bonus if they are from another country, the international thresholds being slightly more accessible than the continental US ones. That's how we got Luma Bora SP3 reaching A tier, not having to hit, 600 players, but instead just 480. You know, they're pretty close anyways. But yeah, Coney, anything to say about that? I think you like seeing the international bros count, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, that's important, and it really helps out people that maybe can't get to us as much. Obviously, some players are always going to have that kind of bonus, like Como was coming over all the time, Raito, people like that. Not really happening as much anymore, but you really want to give people outside of the region a chance to be able to shine. Obviously, I think if you're coming over here consistently, you're going to have a better chance, not just in terms of, you know, being visible and being seen, but also having that high level of practice and competition. But, you know, if you're not going anywhere, you can also get on the rankings. It's just maybe a little bit harder.
Yeah. I always say, like, you can't make the major, like, the majors happen. People were talking about SoCal bias for the longest time, but you still had to win the event. I mean, you still had to win the event, and even though it did centralize a lot of the country towards traveling and looking out for and attending one sector, it was still like you had to win it. So thankfully we're able to factor them in. One tournament to look out for, which is actually ending, I think, on the last day of the season, July 7th, is Albion 4. Apparently, it's shaping up to be Europe's first S tier. I haven't seen too much about it, other than the fact that I think it might have already, I don't know, it might have already hit A tier, just on entrance that they've released. I know that there's a bunch of countries going to it. It's also Europe, so they're kind of cheating, because it's like as if you took New England and made each state a country.
Yeah.
But Albion 4, be on the lookout. It's a European event that's going to potentially hit S tier. CEO obviously being in the summer of Smash, Smash and Splash 5, MomoCon, Get on My Level. They're all coming up in the coming months, but yeah, that's how we do it. International definitely counts. International wins are definitely important, and you're not going to see a PGR player in the top 10 without really attending some of those, especially if they're Japanese, because they got their Muburas and their Sumabatos. So yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Second question, you ready for it? We're gonna hit you with it, Coney. This is your favorite one, actually.
Sure.
Totally lost it. Oh, there it is. Okay, so second and last question before we close out. We got 4 minutes left. We're doing 50% each in terms of time. We got a question by Alex Xavier Alvar 3. I like the reversal there. Alex and Xavier combined. Hey, big fan. I want to make a question for you and Coney. Or wait, you and Comey. Actually, that's a strike right there. Comey. For SmashCenter, do you think Wolf is or is going to be the new Bayo? This also was on April 1st, so this might have been a joke we didn't understand. And when I say Bayo, I say in community hate. Comey. Could you please give us your insight as to that?
Sure. Two things. First off, thank you for watching the show, saying you're a fan. Really appreciate it. Please keep watching. Two, that's a dumb question, and let me tell you why. So, like we talked about before,
Slap
we're talking
a
about.
kiss.
Wait, well, I mean, you know, these are the kind of questions that we get asked at the beginning of the game. But let me tell you why that's a dumb question. There are no dumb questions except that one. The top tier, like we talked about before, much more evenly spread. We look at all the winners of this weekend, and it was totally, very all over the place. Inkling didn't win, and everybody knows Inkling is very good. So
Best
like
character.
we have a very we have a very wide pool of good characters to pick. Bayonetta was really unlike anything
PTSD.
I would say that we've ever seen. Seriously, like in terms of. Like, even Meta Knight still was playing Super Smash Brothers. I feel like, and I was talking about this in my Discord with some of my friends, I honestly feel like a lot of the Smash 4 characters either should have had reworks or were, like, totally created with the mindset of, this would be fun to play, not fun to play against. And you have stuff, that's why you have so many zoners and projectile users like Mega Man, Villager, Pac-Man, Duck Hunt. You have so many of those in that game. Rosalina, like all those characters, she's not a zoner, but like all those characters are super like one note and sort of volatile. And they've transferred into Ultimate pretty well. But I think Bayonetta is sort of emblematic of that design decision because she was created without any like
one player game.
Sort of, yeah. Like there's no thought to and obviously I'm making presumptions, but it felt like she was playing her own game. And it felt like Smash 4 turned up to 11. So, all those jumps, up B coming out immediately with Witch Twist, Witch Time being the best counter in any game ever made that can win you the game at 0 while
I will never forget
120.
I will never forget Pink Fresh and MVD, and I want to say the first glitch, MVD at 0% threw his safest option, as did he back then, which was a banana toss, and Pink Fresh at 3 character spaces away, or less, witch timed it, and got the stock. 0% off a banana throw. Now, listen, you counter me, I'm at 70, I'm a ding-dong, but like 0% off a banana toss, that was lack of oversight.
Yeah, and the reason that I bring that up is because, like, gods be good, we will never see anything like that again in terms of Bayonetta, the character, and in terms of the outcry that she had.
I need Joker to break the game.
I mean, they are showing remarkable
the top tiers are
restraint.
safe, dude. The top tiers are very safe. They're not. There are some oppressive top tiers, but pretty much everyone's got the same size stick. I'll be real. Like, it's a little sharper for some people. Some might have splinters, but I mean, we look at these top 8s. We even look at some of the polarization that we used to see not present anymore. Like, characters don't outright lose potentially, but you can counterpick at a much deeper level now, or not deeper level, but more so you can counterpick a lot more availably. Like there's no, you know what I mean? Like there's so many things that you can sort of try out now if it's not working out, and you weren't able to really do that before. Like beforehand, like with Bayo, like you couldn't just switch it up. You kind of had to just take it.
Oh, beyond that, it's also that, I mean, the main source of all this hate, right? If at the low level, people are always going to complain. Like, oh my god, Wolf is so OP, Inkling is so OP, Zero Suit is so... Like, you're always going to find something to complain about unless you're a really good player. The problem that happened in Smash 4 is that the really good players were also bitching about it constantly. So it creates this thing where, okay, well, if the best player in the world is doing it, I can do it too. And I think we saw some signs of that early in Ultimate, which kind of worried me, but I think they've kind of died down a lot as people are like... people are sort of coming to grips.
Top players normalizing scrubby mentality.
Yeah, and we talked about that on a previous episode, so I don't want to get too much into it. But I will say that people are generally more... I think people recognize that in terms of the characters you lose to in this game, of the good characters, the top tier, they're not as bad as they could be or as they have been in past games. I think if Wolf is your biggest problem, you've got a pretty good game.
Yeah,
if I'm being honest.
The thing here is like,
and he's not your biggest problem. Just to be clear, he's not number one. But if he is, you're fine.
Yeah, and I think that where you were coming from, Coney, in calling this question or flagging it as dumb, is more so probably a lack of knowledge. Where like Wolf is like, I don't know, Wolf is like the common cold, and you're asking, you know, is this something to worry about? And Bayonetta was like the bubonic plague. Like, yeah,
that's a good.
Like it is so much more insidious and so much more of a conversation tournament changer. Like events would, I think, yeah, DeBuzz won Frostbite 2018 with like 17 Bayos in top 8, and nobody even cared. Like it was the tournament ended so far before that because of the Bayo hate. Bayo hate resulting in death threats. I don't think Seagull Joe or Zachary or any Wolf player far and wide has gotten a death threat.
Maybe if they start howling on stage after they get a win, you might want to do it then. I don't know.
Dancing or not, Zach or not, Lima or not, Mistake or not, everybody was. And then it was even locally, it was like a toxicity. Like if your local player used Bayo, people soft banned her, hard banned her, split regions up. Like Wolf's not doing that. Even Olimar, who's getting marginally more hatred, only because of his damage output, his goofiness, his kind of just uncanniness, where it's like, oh, I touched you, you're at 70.
He's annoying, but
yeah, again, more annoying. Like Pikachu, annoying, not that. So I think for Alex Xavier, your question, like, we will not see something like Bayo for as long as Bayo is not what she was. Like,
well, just to be 100% clear, you might see it in certain circles because there is a very large portion of the Smash sort of fandom community sort of at that level that will just take any excuse they can to just whine about a character. So you might see it in like college dorm rooms,
sure,
or at parties, something like that. Just if the best player in the room is a Wolf player, something like that, maybe. But in terms of like the wider community, it's not going to be that bad. Wolf is a hangnail, and Bayonetta was an amputated limb. Like it's not the same.
Or necrosis running up your thigh. No, she's true.
Not good.
Yeah, and right now with the game being so equitable, I think there's even less of a fear I have personally for even characters like Joker, who I know, for example, he's flashy from the game he's coming from. He might be quick. He might have a disjoint. He might have his sword, his dagger. I don't know what it is. I still haven't played Persona. I know, kill me. But for whatever else is coming, I don't think Banjo-Kazooie could polarize.
We're definitely coming. We're definitely coming.
Could polarize the meta like Bayo did, even if he had every jigsaw. I don't even know. Like I think of Banjo in the game. I don't know how he could polarize anything aside from like, I don't know, some sort of like weird canon matchup with rare icons like Donkey Kong and K. Rool. But even then, like, I don't see it. And then for anyone else that's eligible, like, unless they give us some wacky FGC crossover, I doubt we'll have a Mortal Kombat representative. But that could potentially throw a wrench in the whole thing. Slash, I don't even know. And if Gino comes out, it'll probably just be a meme.
One of the things that I think is kind of interesting is, in terms of like a first draft, Ultimate is excellent. Smash 4 was not.
Yeah.
Ultimate is an A. Smash 4
learned.
Smash 4 was like a D, and they learned a lot. And I think a lot of that credit goes out to Renai and and the team that put their stuff on the line. But I think also with Piranha Plant, we're getting sort of glimpses that, like, that's a concept. Like, they put that in the game, and they weren't like, okay, we need to make something it's fun, but it's not going to break the game. It's not going to change people's perception. It's not going to have this crazy, insane mechanic.
I haven't seen one on stream, to be real.
Right, it's just, they're not like, okay, we're going to put in this insane mechanic that nobody's ever seen before. It's just like, no, it's just a plant in a pot. It's kind of fun. You know, and I feel like Joker might be the same, where it's just like, okay, he's just kind of like Robin. He's pretty good.
Persona!
Maybe he's fast Robin. I don't know, and that's fine. But I think what I wonder is if they're going to go the Smash 4 route. And it's like, all right, Lucas, pretty good. Roy, pretty good. Cloud. And then it's like, oh shit, Master Chief is so good, you know.
Did
like,
you
maybe
play something? You just like ruined your own mic when you said Cloud.
Oh yeah, that's the bass trick. Cloud Strife. See?
What? Who? Are you a dungeon master? What is going on?
Magic, yeah. Anyway, I think the third character might be a problem, but the first and the second, it'll be fine.
Yeah, Pakun Plant not really showing up. I think a fast Robin would be probably along the lines that Joker might come out as. But depending, because it's insane, we still haven't seen gameplay, but depending on how the persona aspect, I know like you can con a persona, or it's like your double or your spirit, I don't even know, but that could be amounts of silly, but I don't know, they've been pretty safe. Mm-hmm. So that'll tie it up. I think both questions are valid. I think, Alex Xavier, your question is not dumb, but I want to say you weren't potentially in the trenches when Bayo was what it was. If you were, then maybe you didn't get the worst of it like we did.
Yeah, that's all.
Because that just speaks to like how like Wolf is not. No one was really crying about Wolf. Yeah,
we're just teasing you.
I know, but Wolf, no one's really crying about him. Like,
no.
Also, there was like a bunch of misinformation with hitbox visualizers being put out, and people were like, "Yeah, then it's not. Nothing's bad right now. Just know that everything's actually very good, very very good. Right. So much so that people start fake beef with each other, basically at this point. So yeah, that'll cover it. Coney, any final words before we start? We start the sign off. We start the whole bit. We say goodbye. We do Coney ZZ on Twitter, Coney on Twitch.
No, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. You can catch me on Twitch, like he said, just Coney. On Twitter, Coney ZZ. I'll be a pound this weekend, commentating a few pools things, and then top 8, and then 2 exhibitions, the eSim Sim Sora, and then the MD vs VA. So it'll be fun. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Awesome. So thank you, Coney. That is the final part to the entirety of SmashCenter. SmashCenter, of course, being your source for all Smash news and coverage. You know, we got the controversy every now rolling in, and right now I'm just gonna say it's very quiet, and it's supposed to be that way. People are finishing up their school years, they're getting ready for vacation, and it's not really a time for competing more so compared to what we're gonna see this summer. So Prime Saga, Luma Bora SP3, of course, events to tune into and watch. Pound 2019 this weekend, another event to tune in and watch. But prepare yourselves, because it's going to get really wacky, really wild. But again, it's been suar. It's been a great time. I do want to thank Thwack for the writing that he does each and every week. Thwack, you can follow him at Thwack Smash. He's an incredible coverage provider when it comes to anything esports related, especially Smash news. So make sure you check him out at Thwack Smash on Twitter. And then again, PG Stats, you can find us on Twitter, and myself at PG underscore suar. DM me those questions if you want them featured, and get yourself made fun of. Much love to the two who we got to feature today. I think their names were something having to do with 420 and then Alex Xavier. So thanks again. It's been a great time. And we'll see you next week, Monday, 7 p.m. sharp. Unless we postpone to Tuesday, 7 p.m. sharp. You can always find us on YouTube and Twitch. And that's the show. We're actually going to put this on a podcast, starting with this exact show we've been recording locally. Hope to have that up spinning nice and fancy this week, so you can listen on the go and not have to look at our ugly mugs and our terribly amazing production. So have a great night. See you next week, and spread the word out. SmashCenter, it's the truth, it's the realness, and you just saw it. So have a nice night, and we'll see you next time.